Hello friends, this is Umesh and welcome to the second video of Arduino programming series. So in this lesson we will going to learn about if statement. If you remember, in our previous lesson we have learned about variables and data types, and we have written quite a few programs, but we have not done any significant in terms of programming. Now whenever we talk about a computer programming in general, then we must have to take an action, right? We have to make a decision, we have to write a certain logic, and you cannot able to do unless you use a conditional operator or control structure. And we will going to learn about if statement. Now if statement allows us to do certain action on the top of the data or something like that. So if statements allow us to make a decision on the top of the data that we have. Now what is a data? Data is nothing but a variable, a value that is stored into the variable. So what we're going to do is we will going to write some programs, and then we will learn step by step how we can use if statement. So what you see on my screen is a bare minimum code on Arduino. So what I'm going to do is I will declare one variable, integer variable x. If you recall from the previous lesson, then variable is nothing but a placeholder, and here x is nothing but our variable. In a setup function we will going to write serial.begin because we want to use a serial comport, serial monitor, in order to debug the program, in order to check the logic that we are writing into the program. Now when we come to loop function, loop is the place where we write an actual logic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use if statements. In a if statement, the syntax is quite simple. So when we write if, you can see here, and then we have to write in condition. Here we will say x, the variable that we have defined earlier, x equals to 10. Now when x is equals to 10, then we have to write the logic that we want to execute. So in this simple if statement, we will be checking if the value of x variable is 10, then we will going to print serial.println, and then we will going to print a message on serial monitor, the value of variable x is 10. Right? So simple enough, right? And then after if statement we will going to write x plus plus. Now there are a couple of things that you wonder where does it come from, but I would going to talk about them step by step. Right? Now when we say in the beginning, when we declare a variable x, the value of x is 0, right? Now when we say if x is equals to 0, when this loop function execute, when you upload this code on Arduino, it checks the value of x is equals to 0, which is not in this case because by default the value of x will be 0 because we have not defined any value for this variable x, right? So what it does is it checks x value is 10, which is not in this case, so it will execute this line of code. Now this line of code x plus plus, this plus plus is an increment operator, so every time this loop function execute, then it will increase the value, increment the value of x by 1. You can also write this, instead of x plus plus you can write x is equal to x plus 1, but you can use any way you want. And now when this loop function execute, so first of all it's a 0, the value of x is 0 in the first run of this loop function, then it will be 1, 2, 3, it will increment till this condition satisfies, right? Till this condition comes true, and there will be one point where your x, the value of x will be 10, and then you want to print this line of code, the value of variable x is 10, and then you want your program to stop, and that's why you will going to write this while loop, right? Otherwise it will keep running, it will keep printing the value of variable x. That's what we don't want to do. So let me upload the code and show you how it works. Okay, so you can see in the lower left corner done uploading. So we will going to open serial monitor from the tool section, and you can see the value of variable x is 10. Right now, what if you don't just want to check the value of x, but you want to do something else in your program till your value of variable x reaches to 10? So what we're going to do is we will going to use else, and then we will write another piece of code, another block of code where we will tell a program to do something else. So when the value of x is not equals to 10, then we will going to print on serial monitor serial.print, and we will going to print this x variable. Okay, and then we will say serial.println, and then we will going to print the value of x. Right, so what it does is it's check the value of variable x is 10, and if it's not, then this piece of code will execute. It will not go to this line of code till this condition satisfies. Right, so let me upload the code again and show you what is happening here. Okay, so done uploading. So let's open a serial monitor once again, and you can see the value of x will be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9, and when the value of x become 10, then it will print this line of code. That is what exactly we want to do with this code, right? If you recall. Now if you want to see this live action, then what you're gonna do is you will just put a little delay after increment operator x++, and I will going to put 500 millisecond of delay, and let me upload the code, and then you will going to see the action in live. Okay, so done uploading. Go and open serial monitor once again, and you see the value of x keeps incrementing because it's executing this else statement. As soon as the value of x become 10, it will print the value of variable x is 10. Right, I hope it is clear now how to use if statement. It's very important when you write an application or the program for Arduino. Let's say for example you want to connect a temperature sensor, and you want to say if the value of a temperature is more than 40, then you want to turn on air conditioner, and if the value of the temperature in the room is less than 40, somewhere between 35 or 36 or something, then you want to turn off AC again. Right, in those kind of situation you must have to make a decision on the top of data coming from the sensor, and you will store the data from the sensor into variable like x in this case, and then you can able to perform an action on the top of your data coming from the sensor. Now that is just a one thing, but we will going to write quite a few program in the future lesson where I will going to show you actually how you're going to use if statements in the live projects. Now let me show you one more thing related to control structure. So if the value of variable x is 10, and if it's not 10, then this bit of code executes. Now let's change the program and say if the value of x become 1, and then you want to print this line of code, text 1. Right, and then we will going to say else if we have to check another statement, x is equals to 10. When the value of x become 10, then you want to print something else, and what that something else is serial.println, say for example, and then we will going to say text 10. Right, and then we will going to say else in the end. Then in the curly braces we will going to write exactly what we have wrote earlier, the value of variable x that we want to print. Now you can see how we can use else if to not only to check only one condition like an if statement, so we can add as many else if as we want, right? And we can make our program more intuitive to take more logical steps. Now what I'm gonna do is I will take this x++ and I will going to put this here before if statement, right? And that will be absolutely fine. Okay, I hope you can see the code. Let me drag it down and look for the logic. Now if I upload this code, then see what happens. Before that, I want to tell you, we don't need this while loop to be here, while statement here, right? We want to stop this program when the value of x reaches to 10. So in else if statement, we will going to write while 1, because we want to stop this code execution, because it will keep executing and checking this x is equals to 10, and when the value of x become 10, then this piece of code, whatever we have written in a loop function, will stop, right? So let's upload the code and check how it works. So it's done uploading. So let me open Serial Monitor once again, and you can see it print text 1, and then it print the value of x 2 3 4 5 6, and when it reaches to x is equal to 10, the value of x become 10, then it will print text 10, right? Let me press the reset button on my Arduino, and then you can see these things happening once again. So when your program starts, it prints text 1, and then it keep checking else the value of x, and when the value of x become 10, then it will print text 10, right? So this is the way you gonna make you can make a conditional operation. You can take an action, or you can make a logical decision on the top of data. In the next lesson, we will going to learn about switch case statement, and we will also learn about different loops to take a certain action over and over again. So I hope you will enjoy this video, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.